Okay, so what I can see here, I can see all the jobs in my practice at the moment. We've got our job number, who the client is and what we're working on, as well as looking at the priority and the state of the job. What I think is a really particularly powerful column here is that time budget and having the visibility of, whether we've gone over budget on a particular job. So you've got live updates of what's happening with the jobs. We've also got filters as well. So if you want to filter by a particular staff member or manager or partner, you can do that. How are you currently monitoring your workflow? Do you have some kind of job listing in Mild that you're using?
Yeah, AE allows us to
AE has one?
Yep.
Yep, no worries. So this essentially is almost like an Excel spreadsheet. It has the same look and feel. How do I create a job? In FYI, you can create jobs, but I will show you today how to do it within Xero Practice Manager. So top right-hand corner, if I click create new job, from here you choose, the particular client that you're working on. I'm going to choose myself. And then from here, we have our job template. So this is the menu of services that you offer your client. So you think of everything that you offer, you create a job template for it. So when you go through the migration process and someone implements for you, they'll set up all these job templates for you. So an example here, let's just say it's an individual return with a rental property. That's the main base of it. I'm going to put the state as in progress. We can say this is definitely compliance for Naomi. We can pop in a start and a due date if we wish, and I can go ahead and allocate it to Adam Jones, like so. So from here, I can see all that information has pre-populated down. We've got estimates automatically coming through. If you need to change, how long it's going to take. So maybe this is more of a complex return. I can go ahead and change that to 3 hours. And then from here, based on the staff I've allocated it to, if I had maybe 5 staff allocated to this particular job, they would come up here as options and I could actually get granular and allocate the tasks to them. Let's just say that this isn't just an individual return. Maybe we're doing some BAS work as well. So what I can do over here under the options, I can apply additional job templates to that. So maybe we've got maybe tax planning advice. Let's do that. I can add that in. So in that first year, there's you just need to fine tune the job template for that particular client. And then what you can do from there is you can copy the job from year to year. So let's say that's going to be an hour. All right, so does that...
So that'll hold that job for that client. We can copy it
from year to year.
Year to year.
Yep. You can also do things like set up recurring jobs. So if you've got, say, clients that you bill for their BASs quarterly, you can have recurring jobs set up for that. So it'll automatically create the job each quarter for that. Or if there's annual, tax planning. So yeah, so the system can help automate a few things there. right. From here, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to navigate to the dashboard, and we're going to put some time down to the job. So there are many ways to put time down. You can do it within FYI, just so that you know. But I'm going to click the clock icon at the top there, click the plus button. I can start a timer and have that running in the background. Otherwise, I can just hard code how long I've been working on a particular job. So if we have a look at the Sergi Family Trust, working on the annual tax compliance, and we did the tax return, and we're marking that as billable. See here, when I refresh the dashboard, I can see that my chargeables have now gone better. Now, from my understanding, are you using Dashboard Insights at the moment?
Yeah.
Yeah, this actually integrates with Xero Practice Manager as well. So you can get like accounting dashboards, and you already know productivity, actual billings, and all of that. So that integrates with this as well. All right, so what I'm going to do now is, because I got the permission levels, we're going to have a look at the work in progress for the practice. Now, once again, same as the client list, same as the tax returns workflow, you can filter your WIP. You can do it as at a particular date, and you can filter by partner as well. Very interactive. Anything in blue can be drilled down into. We can see a list of our top clients. So I can see Gary Barton is one of our clients. We have one job on the go with 61 grand worth of WIP. Emily has 4 jobs with about 44 grand. What we can also do is filter by job status as well. So I can see there are 4 invoices here that are ready for invoicing. So I can click into that. It'll give me a list view, and then I can go ahead and invoice that out if I wish. What I am going to do is I am going to have a look and find the job that we were working on before. And I'm going to invoice it out from within the job itself. Okay. So from within here, under the financial tab, I can see my estimated billing, so my time with my charge out rate. And we've got 2 options here. I can do a progress invoice or a final invoice. So if I'm going to click new final invoice. So you can base it on your actual time and cost, so your timesheet entries, or you can base it on the estimates that you have within the task. So I'm going to base it on my actual time and costs. At the moment, we've got a calculated pricing mode. So if we just scroll on down here, so once again, my time, that many hours at my charge out rate. But let's just say this client was particularly painful and we want to up the price on this one. What we can do is we can change that to a fixed price. And what that will enable us to do is change the dollars here. Now, they're not going to see this time in the calculator. They're just going to see the totals there. And when we scroll on down the bottom, we can see what the WIP is, and we can also see what the bill is and what the write-on is. So when I click approve, what this will do is this will shoot straight into my practices Xero file. So if we go into Xero and we go to Bondi Blue Consulting, which was just there a moment ago, there we go. And if we go to invoices awaiting payment, so from here, I would go ahead and email that invoice out. But if we were to go and have a look at the invoice itself, and I'll show you what it will look like to the client. Let's share that invoice. All right. So the benefits of sending your invoice out of Xero is that we have payment gateways that attach into here. So clients are more inclined to click pay now and give you their credit card details. Another benefit of sending out of Xero is we have what we call automatic invoice reminders. So you can remind them when the invoice is about to be due or when it's past its due date. And you can have a series of emails go out when it's past 7 days, 14 days, and so on.
Sorry, just in practice, do you see firms of our size using Xero only as the debt?
So what we'll do now is jump in and build a proposal together. Click on create new proposal. This will open up a 7-step workflow. So anyone in your team can run through this process. You can simply drop templates in at the beginning, just to streamline this a little bit more. I've got some custom templates here on the left. Your Ignition account will come with a range of these for industry standard work, but to begin this process, we'll start building from scratch and then we'll roll a template in about halfway through. So we want to begin by giving our proposal a name, of course. So this is my Hoffman Kelly proposal. We then want to find the client that we'd like to engage. So Ignition has a direct sync with XPM and Zero Blue, and so we can just pull client information in from those files. If the client that we're looking to engage does not yet live in our ledger, we can just create a new client like so. There we go, create new client, not Hoff Enterprises. And we go Remy and Remy add test. So we just enter some contact details. If you need more than one engagement on any, one signature on any engagement, you can have multiple contacts per client, enter some company information, then hit save. This client will be saved in Ignition as a lead. The moment they accept that engagement, they'll be pushed into your XPM and Zero files. We then want to choose when the engagement begins or when the proposal comes into effect. Is it on acceptance or on a specific date in the past or in the future? For the demonstration today, we're going to go on acceptance and have our minimum contract length be 12 months. But of course, you can choose however long you wish to engage. Next thing we want to do is add services to our proposal. So what we're doing here is clearly scoping out the work that we're going to provide and detailing how we're going to get paid for the work that we do. So to begin this process, we want to add a service. This will pull up a library. We then want to start searching for the service we'd like to provide. So because we're onboarding a new client, we're going to have some initial budgeting and cash flow forecasting at the beginning of the relationship. I select that service. Ignition will then prompt you to decide how you would like to bill for it, or what type of service is it? Is it recurring? Is it a one-off? Or would you like this billed in deposits? That's the option I'm going to select here. So we've got 50% billed up front for this service. The remainder will be billed on completion. Every Ignition account comes with a range of detailed service templates. Each one includes in-depth description of what you'll do, as well as an industry benchmarked price. If you've got service summaries and descriptions that live in things like a CSV, we can work with you to import those into Ignition. So there's our first service. I'm now going to add in some recurring services. So let's say you're managing your client's cloud accounting software subscription. We want to bill for that each and every month. On top of that, we're providing them with some general advisory services on a retainer. Perhaps there's some bookkeeping services as part of this engagement. And then on top of that, there's just some IAS and BAS work. So there's our monthly recurring component. I'm going to add in another recurring component for this client. This is going to be a quarterly bill for some virtual CFO services. I'm going to change this recurrence from 1 to 3 months. Very nice. I'm going to add in another service here. It's one-off, and it's going to be billed on completion. So this is just for our annual accounts. With Ignition, you've got those different billing rules, so one-off, recurring, or deposits, but you can also quote different prices. So all of my services thus far are fixed prices, but I'm going to quote a range here. So scrolling down, I want to quote a price range for those premium annual accounts and say this is going to cost anywhere between $700 and $1,200. So there's a little bit going on this page, but just to recap, what I've done so far is built an in-depth proposal. I've scoped out all my services, decided how I'm going to get paid for those, and I've got a range of services in there, all beginning with that initial upfront bill for the deposit for the budgeting and cash flow forecasting.